Country Hands. Thank you for joining me on my channel today. Today's video is going to be tips for helping increase your breast milk supply. I thought this video would be helpful, and I had a couple people request this video after seeing my how I organized my breast milk in the freezer video. I figured I would share with y'all the things that I do to help keep my supply up. If you're new to my channel, my name is Katie. Welcome. Thank you for being here. I do motherhood and lifestyle videos every Tuesday and Thursday. If you aren't a subscriber, I would love if you would consider subscribing. If you like this video and this type of content, please give the video a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. Hunter's joining me. I do want to start off by saying that fed is best. I truly believe that if you're struggling with breastfeeding or your milk supply is decreasing and nothing is working, try not to be too hard on yourself. I know that can be really devastating and a horrible feeling, but as long as you're feeding your baby, whether you have to go to formula or supplement with formula, it's okay. You're a good mom. You're a good mom for worrying about it. You're a good mom for watching videos like this. So I just want to throw that out there. I have had times where my milk did decrease, but it did come back up, but I know that's not always the case for everyone. So try not to be too hard on yourself. I definitely think that it's worth giving it your best shot to try to increase your milk, but just in case it doesn't work out, every woman is different, every postpartum and breastfeeding journey is different. I have a 2-year-old, Mackenzie, and then I have Hunter, who is 5 months old. And they are completely different babies, completely different pregnancies, completely different postpartum journeys, and completely different breastfeeding journeys. With Mackenzie, I had good milk supply, but I feel like it was like average. But with Hunter, I've had a really large milk supply. And I have done things a little bit differently to help keep that increased. But I feel like my milk supply was just more with him. I don't know if it's because of my second baby or if it's just different with every baby. So just keep that in mind, and also keep in mind these are great tips to try, but not all tips work for everyone. Having said all that though, I really hope that these are helpful tips for you, and I hope that they help increase your milk supply. So let me jump into my tips. The first thing is mother's milk tea. At the beginning of breastfeeding, I was drinking this twice a day, and I could tell an increase in my milk supply whenever I would drink it twice a day. After, it does pretty much all of these things take a couple days, I feel like, to show results. So make sure you give it a chance, because it just takes your body a little while to increase your milk supply and to see those results. So definitely buy some of this. I was able to get it at H-E-B, I think Walmart, I think most places have this, and I think Amazon does too. I will link it down below if I can find it on Amazon. The next thing that I used with this breastfeeding journey that I did not use with my first baby is, I always pronounce this wrong, hookah. It's a silicone breast pump, so it catches the letdown. Make sure that you know how to put it on properly. It won't really work as well if you don't put it on right. I found that out after using it for a couple of days. So you kind of have to like suction it to the breast, and it will just catches the letdown. So while he's nursing on one breast, I put this on the other, and at times I would get 2 to 3 ounces of just letdown from him nursing for like 15 minutes on the other side. In the beginning, I got a lot of my milk, my frozen milk supply stash from using this. Hookah? I'm not sure. I don't know. I will link it down below though. You can get it off Amazon. It's very affordable. And I actually have 2, and they are really, really good. I don't use them as much now because my milk is more like regulated. I don't get a ton of letdown from the opposite breast while he's nursing, but I still do sometimes. But the first 2 or 3 months, I use this constantly. Pretty much every time that he would nurse, I would use this. So this is a must. If you try nothing else on this list, I would say do this one. Before I get into the next tip, I also just to tell you our typical schedule. With Hunter, I only give him bottles if I'm not here. So whether that's going to work, I only work once a week now. So I'm away from him for about 24 hours though, because my parents watch him the night before and then the day of my 12-hour shift at work. Or if I'm gone to go do something, which is rare, but if I'm gone to go do something without him. Those are the only times that he has bottles. Whenever I'm home with him, I always nurse directly from the breast and breastfeed him. So on a typical day when I'm going to be home, I pump in the morning and then I pump around dinner time. So I feed him whenever we get up, and then shortly after I go ahead and pump. And I pump for about 15 to 20 minutes. And then I pump again around dinner time for 15 to 20 minutes. And that's it. I only pump twice a day if I'm home with him on a typical day. If I'm away from him, whether it's work or whatever else I might be out doing without him, I pump every 3 to 4 hours. I make sure that I do no matter what. I've had mastitis, I've had clogged ducts, and I can tell my breasts start getting really engorged, and I have to pump every 3 to 4 hours. My top will start leaking milk, and it's very uncomfortable, and I want to keep up my milk supply, so I don't want to go more than 3 to 4 hours. Even when I'm at work, I just have to make time. You have to stay on top of it to keep your milk supply up. So back to my third tip. My third tip is to do power pumping. I did this in the beginning. I'm not currently doing power pumping unless I feel that I have a decrease in my milk supply all of a sudden. Then I will do power pumping for a few days just to try to increase my milk supply. So power pumping mimics cluster feeding. So with cluster feeding, you know, your baby will nurse for a little bit, take a break, nurse for a little bit, take a break, and they're nursing off and on a lot. And that's what cluster feeding is. It's instead of nursing every 2 to 3 hours for a longer period to where they're full. Cluster feeding is they're not filling up all the way and they're feeding constantly. So power pumping mimics that. So what I did with the power pumping is I pumped for 20 minutes and then I took a break for 10 minutes. I pumped for another 10 minutes, took a 10-minute break, and then I pumped for one last 10 minutes. And I would just recommend doing that once a day. If you have time and you want to do it twice a day, then you can go for it. My tips with power pumping would be make sure that you fed baby before you start doing that. I always like to power pump in the morning, but I know some people do it at bedtime after they've put their baby to bed, fed them and put them to bed because they just have time to do it then. So I highly recommend power pumping, trying it. It can take a few days, up to like a week for your body to catch up and start producing more milk. So like I said, just give all these tips a fair shot before you give up on them. I know a lot of times I expect results immediately and it just takes time. Also with breastfeeding, with pumping and breastfeeding, your milk supply is like a supply and demand. So your body knows to produce more milk when your baby's nursing more or you're pumping more, because your body thinks, well, I need more to give to the baby. So the more you pump, the more you breastfeed, the more milk that your body is going to produce. So that's like kind of the idea behind power pumping. You're pumping a lot more, so your body thinks that you need to produce more milk. My next tip is to drink body armor. I've never had this until I was postpartum with Hunter. So this one is a low-calorie sports drink. I like to get the Body Armor Light. It has less calories. They have a bunch of different flavors. My favorite is the peach mango, and I also do like it in the light. I can't tell a big difference. It has coconut water, electrolytes, antioxidants. It has some vitamins in it. Hunter's gonna take a little snack break right now. This is a big one. I don't drink a whole big one. These are the sizes that I normally get. So this is a 16 ounce. I try to drink at least one of these a day. Whenever I was first starting my breastfeeding journey with Hunter, I was drinking 2 of these a day. So I would recommend doing 2 of these a day, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening. I saw a huge increase in my milk supply whenever I started drinking the Body Armor. And some days I forget to drink it and I can tell a difference. So I would say definitely get you some Body Armor. Will also help you stay hydrated. The next tip I have is doing skin to skin. So that is without a shirt on, without a bra on, have baby in just a diaper and cuddle, snuggle up, let them nurse. After they're done nursing, just keep cuddling them and just do skin to skin. And it's really nice. It's also a very good bonding experience for you and baby. Baby really enjoys skin to skin. Just maybe have like a blanket over both of you and just cuddle up. And it's a really nice experience, and I can tell that my body really starts increasing my milk supply. My milk starts leaking. It's just a good way to really get your milk going. If my milk is ever low, I notice that it's low, I always start doing skin to skin and I see an increase. The next thing is try to keep yourself healthy. So stay hydrated. You're supposed to drink more water than the typical person while you're breastfeeding. You're also supposed to be eating more while you're breastfeeding because you're burning more calories. Try to make sure that you're eating healthy snacks, fruits, vegetables, high protein things, nuts, granola bars, oatmeal. Salmon is really good for milk supply, spinach, smoothies. Just try to always have some snacks that are easy to grab, because the last thing you want to do is try to go in and like make something. So whether you're having leftovers or just really easy, quick grab and go snacks, I know a lot of moms have like a little basket with snacks by their bedside. So whenever they wake up and they're nursing or pumping, they can make sure that they drink some water and also have a snack. I don't have a snack basket, which I really wish I could, but with Mackenzie, she's just gonna try to grab all those out of a basket if I have it sitting around somewhere. So I don't have a snack basket. I just have to remind myself that I need to be snacking throughout the day. It's also recommended that you continue taking prenatal vitamins while you're breastfeeding. That'll help keep you and baby healthy as well. My last tip is just that I listen and watch baby, not the time. So you do want to make sure that you are feeding baby every 3 hours. When they're younger, they say every 2 to 3 hours, but for sure every 3 hours. So make sure to keep an eye on the time just to make sure that you're not going too long without feeding. But I never say, oh, well, I just fed him, I'm not going to feed him again because it's not been 2 to 3 hours. If he's hungry and he's giving me those signs that he's hungry, those feeding cues, and feed him. I mean, even if it's only been an hour or 30 minutes, I feed him. And that's just how I've done things. I know that that could be part of our sleeping issues. He's not the best sleeper. That's what I do, and I feel like that has increased my milk supply. Not watching the time and just watching the baby and telling when he's hungry, and I just feed on demand. And I think that has increased my milk supply because he eats pretty often. But he is good on the growth chart. He's not overweight. The doctor said he's a good weight. So that's what's working for our family. I hope that these tips were helpful for you, and I hope that they work for you in increasing your milk supply. Please let me know down below in the comments if you have any questions. I would love to answer any questions. I will be linking the things that I talked about that I can in the description box below. Thank you for watching, and I will see y'all in the next video. Please subscribe.
I watch you as you drive. Do you know I'm looking? And I can't help but smile. Do you know how much I love you? You put my favorite song on. I put my feet up and we